What's up YouTube, this is World of Black Ops Pro, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about why Black Ops 3 is going to suck, why it could very well be the worst Call of Duty ever made when it comes out this November. Now we already know a few things because with the release of the Ember trailer the other day and the leaks that were released today, we can know a lot about the game and a lot about the multiplayer even before the game's worldwide reveal, which is set to occur on the 26th of April. So, let's get into this. So, the game takes place in the year 2065, right? As we saw with the Ember trailer, we're assuming that it takes place in the year 2065 because that's when the timeline thing stops. And in that trailer, we saw a bunch of futuristic stuff. Now, I will give it to them that the trailer, the future the trailer portrayed was more realistic than Advanced Warfare's future where we're all jumping around exosuits, because that is completely unrealistic. But there's a few problems with that. Now, the storyline, I will give them this, that it is somewhat creative. It's more creative than Sledgehammer did with their game, but there's a few problems with that really any Call of Duty that has a futuristic setting is going to run into, and that's the futuristic crap. Because we all know that when developers are given, like when they decide to put their game into a futuristic setting, that basically gives them a blank check to do whatever they want. I'll go and get into some examples. One of those games was Black Ops 2. Black Ops 2 takes place in the year 2025. We all know that. And there's a lot of bullcrap in that game. And I'm going to be comparing Black Ops 2 to Black Ops 1 because those games, yeah, while they're both Treyarch games and they're both in the same series, those are very key differences between them, and a lot of them has to do with setting. Black Ops 2, you had a lot of BS like the Target Finder. The Target Finder was made possible because of the futuristic setting. If the game took place, let's say the 1960s, they of course did not have technology that advanced back then, so they could not implement such mechanics. Also, another thing that a lot of people are not going to bring up is the millimeter scanner. I mean, that was an attempt at a X-ray vision type iron sight sort of thing. An X-ray vision optical. Now, that wasn't a huge deal in Black Ops 2, but it still added to the bullshit nevertheless. They also added a bunch of other stuff like Guardians, like really. Yeah, and just a lot of stuff like that. And if it was in a past setting, or maybe even a modern setting, they wouldn't be able to add stuff like that in. And Black Ops 1 did not have really any of those bullshit mechanics. I mean, sure, you had Second Chance, and some people would argue Ghost is overpowered, but those are minor problems compared to, you know, things like 100-kill drones, or just things like that in Black Ops 2 that were pretty overpowered, and the developers put in just, you know, to give noobs an easier time. Also, games like Call of Duty Ghosts also took place in the future. That game took place in the year 2026, if you guys didn't know that. Yeah, and there was a lot of overpowered stuff in that game too, like the Oracle system. Like, of course, that's a futuristic example of technology that they might have in the year 2026. Unlikely, but, you know, as I've said before, when a developer gets a futuristic setting, they get a blank check to do whatever they want. And the Oracle was basically like a no-skill wall hack, because not only was it in the support package, but you could see through walls literally all the way across the map with this thing, and you could wallbang people really easily. And also, guess what? The Target Finder made a return, and this time it was called the Tracker Sight. You know, and of course they don't have that type of technology in, you know, the future, or I mean in the past or the present, so they had to go to the future to get that. And then now we have AW. AW is without a doubt one of the worst Call of Duty games ever made. No one's playing it. Sales are down, DLC sales are down, everything's down. I mean, player count's down even too. At the time of me recording this video, there were probably less than 40,000 people online on the Xbox 360 version of Advanced Warfare. And that kind of goes to show you that Advanced Warfare was not a good game. In fact, more people are on BO2 than both Ghosts and AW combined, the last two Call of Duty games that have been released. And one of the big reasons that this is because of the futuristic stuff. No one wants exosuits in Call of Duty. Period. No one. In fact, Team Martin and KSX Silencer both did polls, community polls, about exosuits. Do you want exosuits in Black Ops 3, or do you not want exosuits in Black Ops 3? Overwhelmingly, people voted for no exo. About approximately 85% of the people polled said they do not want exosuits in the next Call of Duty. And I believe around 50,000 people were polled. So that right there tells you that the community does not want all this futuristic jumping around, boost jumping. They don't want boost jumping. They don't want any type of advanced movement. I'll get into more into advanced movement later, but really, the futuristic setting is going to it opens the window for Treyarch to really put in all the futuristic stuff they want. They could put in threat detection. Another broken mechanic from AW would let you see through walls. That's pretty broken. You can wallbang people, pre-fire them. It's really annoying. They can really put anything they want in it. So one can only wonder what kind of advanced bullshit they're going to have in Black Ops 3. Because, as you know, Treyarch's given a blank check here. I mean, they can create any type of future they want. They don't have to stick to any historical boundaries like in Black Ops 1. In Black Ops 1, they were limited to what was in development and what was in use in the 1960s. Which is why Black Ops 1 was a pretty balanced game. As soon as they strayed away from the past settings and they started going to the modern or the future setting, the balance in the Call of Duty games have gone downhill. But now let's get into an advanced movement, because I'm sure you guys all want to hear about that. So even though the community overwhelmingly wants advanced movement to be gone, they don't want to ever see it in a Call of Duty game again, advanced movement looks like it's going to come to BO3. Now this was no surprise because, why would Activision spend all this time and money on the development and the implementation of advanced movement and advanced warfare and not use it in other games? Because, as you know, any business decision needs to get you need to get a return on your investment, and they were not going to spend all that money just to put it in one game. Now, advanced movement was one of the biggest reasons advanced warfare failed. Let me repeat, it failed. No one's playing it. It's practically irrelevant at this point to even mention the game. No one wants to do advanced movement because, it doesn't belong in Call of Duty. Advanced Warfare is Call of Duty by name only. It honestly feels more like you're playing Halo or something like that than Call of Duty, and that's what people don't want. Now, Fortune Thunder did a video a few weeks ago talking about his friend who was working on the alpha build of the game, and this friend told Thunder that he hoped that about the boost jumps in Black Ops 3. And this was not a good sign when we heard of it, but then comes the Black Ops 3 leaks today. Now, not only was the movement system leaked, but there was also some zombies leaks, and just the campaign co-op leaks. Now, I'm not too worried about the campaign, because the campaign, it's the same as always. A story's told to you, and you just shoot up bad guys, and yeah, and then the ending's happy and stuff, and yeah, everything's solved at the end. And in zombies, I'm not too concerned about that, because Treyarch usually makes good zombies maps. I mean, not all of them are good, but Treyarch definitely does a better job at making zombies than Sledgehammer. But however, the multiplayer leaks were not that pleasant. Not pleasant indeed. Apparently, there's going to be some new movement system that involves thrust jumps. Actually, let me read this to you guys verbatim. So the movement system is described by this leak as fluidly move through the environment with finesse, using controlled thrust jumps, slides, and mantling abilities in a magnitude of combinations. Now, guys, that seems like exo movement to me. Now, there probably won't be exo suits because, of course, this is the year 2065. Everything's going to be built in. Everything's going to be bionic. People aren't going to have this bulky exosuit strapped to them. But it definitely looks like we're going to have boost jumps, because what's the difference between a boost jump and a thrust jump? One can only speculate at this point, but any type of advanced movements is not going to be good. It's not going to go well with the community. Now, Chaos X Silencer also did another poll about jetpacks. Does the community want jetpacks in Black Ops 3 if Treyarch did it right? About 78% of them said no, and about 22% of them said yes. And that was given if they were done right, if they were done correctly. So, overwhelmingly, once again, the community wants boots on the ground gameplay. We do not want to be flying 30 feet in the air, Treyarch. We do not want to have something that resembles Titanfall, like Titanfall movements. And speaking of Titanfall, the reason why these games are going in this direction, most likely, is because of Titanfall. Now last year, Titanfall was released, and back then, Advanced Warfare was in development. I have a feeling that Activision forced Sledgehammer to take their game in a totally new direction based on Titanfall, because there are a lot of parallels with Titanfall and Advanced Warfare. And I also think Treyarch took a similar direction, because Titanfall was expected to be the new thing. It was expected to be huge, but it was expected to be the COD killer. And it didn't turn out that way. I mean, Titanfall died after probably a few weeks on YouTube, because there wasn't that much content, but that's besides the point. The point is that they built this game around advanced movement, unfortunately. And yeah, they probably will have an advanced movement playlist and a classic playlist. However, that will not work. It did not work in Advanced Warfare, and it will not work in BO3. The reason it did not work in Advanced Warfare was because the maps were completely designed around exosuits, and the exosuit maps were not good. Be honest, how many of you guys want an Advanced Warfare map to come back in the next Call of Duty as DLC? I can't think of a single map in the game with that which is legendary. That was great. I can't think of a single map that would compare to Nuketown or Firing Range or any of those other good classic maps. I mean, not even one that compared to like maps like Terminal, like another good map. The maps were garbage, and because they were developed around the exosuits. And that's exactly what's going to happen with BO3. The maps are going to be developed around exo movements and exo bullshit. So even if they make a classic playlist, yeah, sure, that gets rid of the movements, but you're still playing on shitty maps, and shitty maps that's just going to kill the game. In fact, the EXO playlist in Advanced Warfare is such a ghost town that they reduced the playlist from 4 playlists. Like, it used to include like Search and Destroy and Domination. Now it's only Mosh Pit and TDM, and this is on 360, and it's supposed to be the most populous console for the newest Call of Duty. That is just sad. If they can't even have enough people playing Classic to populate 4 playlists, that is very sad indeed. You know, no one's playing it, and you know, no one will play Classic mode on Black Ops 3 if that so comes. And it will, because the community as a whole does not like it. I think Von Hart realizes this, but there's very little that they can do at this point. Their whole game, all the maps, all the mechanics were developed around the advanced movement. There's very little they can do to change it, and you know, at this point, I'm just gonna have to say Black Ops 3 is gonna be a flop, probably. I mean, sure, we thought we hit rock bottom with Ghosts, but then we got Advanced Warfare. I mean, one can only hope that Advanced Warfare is the rock bottom, the true rock bottom. We can't get any worse than this. But then again, we could be in for a surprise. You know, there could be a Target Finder 2.0 in this game. You know, that can see through walls. There could be a bunch of other advanced bullshit in this game that we just don't know about. And at this point, we can only speculate to what that is, but we definitely know that the future is a blank check for bullshit. We definitely know that thrust jumping is coming to Black Ops 3. And any advanced movement whatsoever is going to kill the game. It doesn't matter how they implement it or what they do to appease the other side of the community that doesn't like it. Advanced movement will kill Black Ops 3. And if Black Ops 3 dies, what does that mean for the franchise? Okay, really, so next year, we have Infinity Ward's next game coming out. Ghost 2, probably. Is anybody gonna look forward to that? I mean, I'm sure not. After Ghost 1, I'm not looking forward to Ghost 2. And I don't think anybody is going to be hyped for that game whatsoever. Everyone's going to scrutinize everything that's released in the trailers. And I don't think that's gonna go well with the community. And then 2017, we got Sledgehammer's next game. And probably Advanced Warfare 2. Given how, you know, bad Advanced Warfare, the original Advanced Warfare was, I don't think anybody's looking forward to that either. So where does that leave us? 2018, Treyarch's next game. The next opportunity Treyarch has to do something right. And I don't think anybody's going to hang around for 3 years waiting for, like, hoping for a playable Call of Duty game. The reason people are on Black Ops 1 was because that's the last playable Call of Duty game that has been released. I mean, there's a lot of balancing issues in BO2, but that's the last playable one. Ghost was unplayable in the eyes of many players, and so was Advanced Warfare. Both weren't great games, but Black Ops 3 may be... those games may be like the best game ever as compared to BO3. Just prepare yourselves for anything, really, at this point, because, you know, we know this game's not going to live up to our expectations. It's in the future. A lot of bullshit movement mechanics. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the commentary. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and this has been World War, and see you guys later.